Hello, and welcome to this. This is a little video that I'm doing where I'm believing I'm going to probably call it a minicast sort of thing. Sort of like a podcast, but just a smaller version of that. Just because, I don't know. Well, actually, no, I do know. Frankly, because the recording software that I use to record all my gameplay footage and stuff only records certain games. There are some games where it's just like black screen. It's like, no, I'm not showing you this. It's like, what? Why? And then there's all these random complicated fixes that apparently don't work. So, I don't know. I'm trying to record anything I really can. You'll see FTLs I'm on the screen right now. That's because I'm going to play through this while I talk about all the stuff that I'm going to talk about. Just because I thought it'd be interesting for you guys to actually have something to look at, because that'd be a lot better. So yeah, what sort of is this? Well, it's sort of like a podcast, but with one person just talking about random shit. Wait, that's a podcast, just with the people bit changed. Yeah, it'll be, so pretty much it'll just be slightly shorter, and it's only going to be me just talking about general stuff about games, and that sort of stuff. Most of this one will be about games, and then at the end I'm going to be talking a little bit about Batman v Superman. And if you haven't seen the movie, I will be presenting spoilers for it. Just sort of a little review rant kind of thing. Oh, and I will be ranting. I've got like things to say because I'm so mad about all these things. But no. So yeah, it'll be sort of just like me talking about things that have happened in it and that sort of stuff. So yeah, maybe this. I don't really know how long this will go on for. If this will go on for like 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 2 minutes. I don't know. But we're just going to see how it goes. So I'm just going to get right into it. And I'm going to start up the FTL game here so you actually have something to look at. Oh, by the way, if you want an explanation for this game, basically FTL is this little sort of 2D spaceship space thing. It's a little indie game. It's a roguelike sort of game. You basically pick your ship at the beginning from all these different types of ships that you can choose, and then you go out into the space and you fight the aliens, and you get blown up or you blow them up. So yeah, that's about how it works. So for anyone who knows FTL, I'm just gonna go with the Federation cruiser, and pretty much this is just my cruiser. You don't really have to pay attention to this game stuff. I'm not going to be talking about it much more after this. But you know, look at it a little bit if it is a game that you seem like you would enjoy, or if you've known about FTL before and you want to see me play it, because I love the hell out of this game. It's awesome. I have a lot of hours in this game. I'm just going to be playing on easy, so I don't have to really think about it too much. But if you really, if you want me to see this, like, post down in the comments and that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, definitely play FTL. And I probably will anyway, just because I found out now that this can actually be recorded. Yeah, anyway, so on to the main topic at hand, which is all this sort of, all the sort of stuff that I'm going to talk about. Now, pretty much, the first thing that I want to talk about is The Division. Now, I really like The Division, and I really did like The Division before it came out. Like, I was really interested in it, because I played Destiny a lot, and I think I have over like 1,000 hours in that game, but it's probably not exactly 1,000 hours, because I'm probably like in loading screens half the time. But pretty much it's sort of they're kind of similar games, and I was really looking forward to The Division, and frankly I'm not anymore, because I've been playing The Division, and really it's just pretty much what you do in The Division, if you don't know, is you are this agent, this secret government agent who's been activated, sort of like a sleeper agent, in New York City after a sort of, what is it, a chemical weapon has been activated. So, you've been activated, and after the chemical weapon's been activated, and you basically have to go through and try and help out everyone who's in Manhattan, in New York, while this virus is out. And so it's you basically trying to restore order. And pretty much it works similar to Destiny, where it's basically a loot shooter, where it's, you know, you slowly build up your gear and build up your level and do all this stuff to make your character better. And what's really interesting to me about it is the fact that Destiny had a lot of complainers at the start, because they were like, it's not enough content, where's all the content, this isn't the game we were promised. And Division has some of that, but I haven't really heard anyone talk about it, which is really bizarre and interesting, and it's just something that I thought I would talk about. So pretty much, the Division, like I was saying, you build up your character to become, a lot more powerful. And you do this by, of course, collecting different pieces of loot and all that sort of stuff, but there's no end goal. It's just, you do these, it's sort of like, at the... it's kind of hard to explain. No, it's not hard to explain. Basically, when you get to the end game, you're playing these challenge missions. These challenge missions will give you high-end items, which are sort of the best items in the game currently. But they will also give you Phoenix credits, which is what most people play them for, because these Phoenix credits are used to buy the best of the best high-end items. You get these high-end items, and then... you get all these high-end items, but once you do, there's nothing left for you to do. It stops you. Now, you have the Dark Zone, which is the PvP side of it, but for people who don't like the PvP side of it, it's really bad, because that's where you get the best loot in the game, and that's really stupid. And, of course, they are coming out in a month with a free update that will add these things called incursions, which are basically the raids from Destiny, but they're pretty... Well, basically, if you don't know Destiny, it's pretty much this massive endgame event which gives you the best loot ever, and that's pretty much the stuff you'd be working towards. But this isn't an update that's coming a month after the game is released. I know it's a free update, but that doesn't excuse it. It should really... I'm not going to say it should have been there from the start, but it seems like you're building up your character to wait for a month. Now, I got the game, and within 2 to 3 weeks, I was done with the game. Pretty much, you hit rank 30, you get all this gear that you could like, you build your character how you like, and you get to rank 50 in the Dark Zone, and then that's it. You maybe buy some more things, get some better guns or something like that, but there's no reason to keep going. There's no incentive. And part of the problem is, I think, they haven't really announced what sort of stuff you'd need to be for this new update. Like the type of gear you need to have, because they have a scaling system in this new update, but the scaling system isn't in the game already, so you don't know if you're ready for it or anything like that. So I've pretty much given up on the game. Now it is coming out, the new incursion update is coming out in a couple days, which is fine. I think it'll probably come out tomorrow, by the time this is uploaded, like it's coming out tomorrow, so... But still, I got the game after its launch date, after it had been released, and... I finished it in like 3 weeks, and I'm not the most hardcore gamer, and I wasn't with this one. I had exams and all sorts of stuff that I was building up to, and frankly, I wasn't playing this a lot of the time. Eventually, by the end of it, I was playing it a lot, but there was no real... I don't know, I wasn't playing too much like a lot of my friends were, and... I finished it in like 3 weeks. I got it after it was released, and I have nothing to do. There's no incentive for me to carry on, because I think, like, I should be ready for this next update. But I think even when it comes out, I'm going to play it a few times, maybe get a full set of gear, and then that'll be it. I'll be done with this game again. The good thing about Destiny was that it had a longer lifespan with this sort of stuff. Like, you were playing for a lot longer. Sure, it was a lot more of a grind, but some people like that sort of stuff. That's why Destiny was so much bigger than, frankly, the Division is right now, because it kept people playing over and over again a lot more. So it was just, I don't know, it's just really annoying for me, because I have this game that I want to keep playing, but there's no incentive to. And it's just really annoying that they have this update that's like, oh yeah, it's a free update, but it's like... I want that now. Like, I need that now. There's no incentive to keep going. So it's just really annoying. But that's sort of my first little thing I'm going to talk about here. The next thing I'm going to talk about is games I'm looking forward to. Because right now, I'm kind of out of games. I don't know if anybody else has hit this sort of thing. Like, I've been playing the Division, but like I said, I'm out of the Division. Like, I'm done. It's just like, well, I've got nothing left to do. So... it's really just annoying, that the fact that I don't have anything else to do, and I'm just sort of sitting here. I reinstalled the Tomb Raider game, just Tomb Raider, not the Rise of the Tomb Raider, just Tomb Raider. I reinstalled that because, well, I didn't have any other games to play, but I am looking forward to some games, which is got me excited and is kind of keeping me through for a little bit. And then the Division update is coming up soon, so that might, keep my intrigue for a little bit more, a little bit longer. But frankly, it's just kind of annoying. But the games that I'm looking forward to, I'm going to start with sort of the ones that are coming out later, and then I'm going to go to the ones that are coming out closer. So I'm looking out for 3 games. The first 2 that I'm going to mention are Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that's the second part of it. I know it's Horizon something, and it's like it's something similar to Zero Dawn. I think it is Zero Dawn, but I'm not sure. But pretty much it's this sort of it's kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of thing, but it's also kind of not. It's pretty much the human race has been completely wiped out. There are a few tribes of people left. It's kind of like, imagine like Far Cry Primal. It's got that sort of feel to it. But most of the animals are robot animals. I know, it sounds bizarre. It's really weird, but it looks very cool. And frankly, I'm just really interested to play it. It'd be just, seems like a lot of fun. But I feel like I'd probably get lost in that game, because my game type that I like playing is really not that kind of game, but I don't know, maybe I will enjoy it, because I got Fallout 4 on the day it was released, and I got to level 6, and I have it uninstalled now. It's just, there's too much stuff to do, I don't have enough, and I don't know, I prefer more linear games, because with Fallout 4, I seriously just couldn't go anywhere. It was kind of weird. It had me on this quest path that I was doing, that was my level, but whenever I'd go to the objective of the quest path, there would be these enemies that I literally just couldn't defeat, because they were so powerful, because it was just like, oh, you're in the wrong section, but it's like, I have to go through this section to get to the new section. Anyway, point being, it is just something that I didn't really enjoy all too much. It's not my type of game, but I don't know, maybe I'll like this new one. I'll probably just end up fooling myself, but I'm stupid, so yeah. But anyway, it looks fun, and it seems like I kind of enjoy it. I have more interest for it than Far Cry Primal, which is, I did think I might enjoy Far Cry Primal, but I didn't really want to get into it that much. But anyway, moving on to the next game is Tom Clancy's, what is it? It's, whatever. Tom Clancy's Wildland is pretty much the best thing. It's got something else there, but I can't remember what that thing is. But pretty much, this is a massively open world game, like I was saying, like Fallout 4 and sort of like Skyrim and that sort of stuff. But the exception, which makes me really excited for this game, is the fact that you can just play with your friends, like 4 of your friends. It's just like one of those open world games, but there's 4 of you, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool. They've got a lot of different ways to do things and stuff like that. You can go check out the video, the E3 announcement trailer thing that they had in, I think, 2015, because it's coming out this year, or was it coming out, I don't know when the trailer got released, but anyway, I've just been getting into, looking at more videos of that and stuff. More recently, it's just getting me really hyped for it, and so yeah, it looks really good, and I've got a lot of friends who are really hyped for it as well, so, that's really awesome, and I'm sort of, that's sort of making me, want to play it more, because I'm going to have these friends who will really enjoy it, and then we can play it together, which is awesome. Which is sort of what you need for this kind of game. But yeah, so anyway, those are sort of the 2 games that don't really have a release date. They say 2016 for both of them, but they don't have a release date. Now, for a game that I am waiting for and is coming out very soon, in fact, next month, Overwatch, which is a Blizzard first-person shooter kind of game. But it's a really interesting take on it. A lot of people have been comparing it to Team Fortress 2, which is fair. It's got a similar sort of style. It's that first-person shooter. Everything's kind of hectic, and you're running around the map and just shooting everyone, which is fair. But it's also sort of a little bit different with the fact that the characters that you can actually play as are more like characters from MOBAs. Or so you've pretty much got like your 3-4 main abilities that you can use sort of over and over again. They of course have like cooldown times, and then each character has like an ultimate ability. So it's sort of a cross between those two. So it's got the MOBA type characters, so they have their ultimate ability and all these other abilities and stuff, but in a first person shooter kind of thing. And it's really cool. It's really interesting. It's made by Blizzard, so I mean it's probably going to be at least good. And I don't know, just all the stuff I've seen of it, and it's gotten me really excited for it. And the fact that it's coming out next month, I'm like, ooh, yay! It looks really cool, and I'm just really looking forward to it. But yeah, so I don't know, it's just some stuff that I've been really looking forward to. I've actually got a folder on my computer that's just it's titled Games, and in there I've got subfolders dedicated to each of these games, and it's got little videos or gameplay footage or something like that in the folders that I can just watch. So like it's got cinematic trailers or like the E3 announcement trailers for Wildlands and Horizon. So yeah, no, just that sort of stuff. But yeah, so I've just been sort of looking forward to those games. But yeah, I just feel like there's not really many games that I'm very excited for right now. I don't know. It's just, it's just like, oh, what's this upgrade? Is it okay? Anyway, sorry, I just had to pay attention to that for a second. But I don't know. I just feel like there's not very many games out there right now. It's kind of overrunning me down. I'm not saying there's not many games out right now. There's quite a few. It's just that I don't know. There's not many games that are keeping me interested, which is annoying. But hopefully in about a month's time when Overwatch comes out, I will be kept a lot more busy. But yeah, that's about that for the game section. I've only got like 3 sections to talk about. I've got this like written down on a piece of paper, just like 5 lines, just so that I can look at and be like, okay, that's what I need to talk about next, or that's what I'm going to talk about next. So the next thing we've got here on my little list is Batman v Superman, which if you don't want to hear spoilers for, you can of course just end the video now. I'll give you a few seconds to do it, and I'll say goodbye to anyone who's who's doesn't want to hear spoilers for that. So bye bye. I hope to see you next time, and maybe we'll do more of these things. If you enjoy it, do all the stuff, hit the subscribe button and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so see ya. Alright, now, for anyone who has seen Batman v Superman, someone wants to hear my opinion on it. Pretty much, before the movie came out, I knew it was probably going to be bad. Now, don't get me wrong, the movie, a lot of people are saying, is just like, oh, it's a good movie. And frankly, it is if you just want to go there and see superheroes just kind of beat the crap out of each other. But in terms of like, I'm a little bit of a comic book fan, alright? I have only like 20 comic books, I'll tell you this. But I've watched like a bunch of the animated series and that sort of stuff. Just watched pretty much a bunch of YouTube videos just breaking down sort of story arcs and stuff like that. And frankly, I really like that universe, like that whole thing. And by the way, I'm a DC fan. But I'm a DC fan for TV, for comics, for that sort of stuff. And for even animated movies. But for movies, I'm a Marvel fan, because Batman v Superman totally fucked with everything. They basically shoved, like, pretty much just 5 storylines into a single movie, just because they were like, oh, that one's popular, that one's popular, that one's popular. Let's just shove them all into one thing. And it's like, no, that's not how you meant to do it. I got really pissed off at the movie. I knew before what it was going to be. It was going to be this massive just clump of just all these different things. I knew that going in. But then I watched it and I was just like, fucking Christ, I fucking hate you. I was just really disappointed. And, I don't know, it's just really bad in my opinion, just because they... you know what? This whole time I've been sort of not talking about spoilers, but I remember I gave a spoiler warning. I can talk about spoilers. So pretty much the whole thing was Superman dying, and the fact that was like, they actually used that. It's like, okay, but people have been like protesting against Superman this entire time. He barely had any characterization, and now you killed him off. No one gives a shit. No one in the audience is gonna be like, oh shit, Superman's dead. Like, they're gonna be like, okay, Superman's dead, he's gonna come back to life. Everyone knows. Like, you didn't build it up so people, like, it's not the fact that that was the problem, the fact that everyone knew that he was gonna come back to life. It's just that everyone knew, and because they knew that, they didn't care that he died. It's meant to be, they know, but they don't care. They're still gonna get upset because of the fact that he died. and they're like, oh shit. Like, some people were like, oh my god, no, Superman. Like, the 5-year-old behind me when I was watching the movie. But I was talking to my friend who's not a comic book fan at all. Like, he's watched the Marvel movies, and he's like, oh yeah, they're kind of cool, but I'd never get into the comic book sort of stuff. And that's fine. Like, I don't, yeah, that's perfectly fine. And he watched the movie, and he was like, yeah, it was just like, okay, Superman's dead, he's gonna come back soon. And even at the end, they have that scene where it's like, oh, the things rise off his grave. It's like, oh, he's gonna, it's like, oh, he's coming back to life. It's like, that's not a shock to anyone. Like, we knew that was gonna happen. And it's just, they just sort of like, they're just trying to catch up to Marvel is what I think they're trying to do. They're trying to get Justice League out. They're trying to show all these characters and not provide any characterization for these. They're trying to bump out all the earlier stories just so they can do these. I hit the mic, I'm sorry if you heard that. They're trying to bump out all these earlier stories just so they can do all these new ones. And it's like, no, that's not how you do it. You're meant to build character. I don't care if it takes 5 years for you to get to a proper Batman v Superman movie. But don't make it like that Batman v Superman movie. Like, just build characters. And it would have been so much better if they'd just done the Batman v Superman movie as just Batman v Superman. Like, maybe some teasers to other things, like the Flash showing up was a tease to something in the future. But just like, I don't know, maybe done some things. But just like fucking with the origin story of, fucking with the origin story of Doomsday. It's like, why? Why would you do that? That's so stupid. And it's just really annoying. And, because they fucked with the origin story of Doomsday, made him just like, oh yeah, he's just some random beast that they can defeat. And it's like, oh my god. And then, it's just really annoying to see it come to that. And I was just really fucking disappointed in it. But yeah, so it's just sort of my little rant about it. I'm gonna stop playing the game for a second and just sort of focus a little bit more on what we've sort of been, what's sort of been happening here, about Batman v Superman. So pretty much, yeah, they blew the load, they're trying to catch up to Marvel. It's just like, oh, what the fuck, why? Like, you ruined this entire thing. It's like, fuck you, you're fucking terrible. And it's just really annoying, and I'm just pissed off, like, I just really don't like it. Like, don't get me wrong, the movie is not terrible. It's bad if you're a comic book fan and you know all these things, and it's like, oh my god, you fucking did that. Like, I'm only slightly a comic book fan, and I was like, holy shit, I want to punch someone in the fucking face. So yeah, I was just really disappointed and mad at the movie, and it's just like, why the fuck would you do this? It's so stupid. But yeah, they had some good movies. Like, good movies. They had some good moments. They had just some interesting things. Like, the fight scenes were choreographed well. They were like, just like, oh yeah, that's so cool. And then they just do all this stuff. And frankly, it's alright. It's like, yeah, okay. But, just like, there's like no characterization for the characters, and it's just, whatever. No characterization for the characters. And it's just like, what the fuck? No, I don't want this. But yeah, no, it's just, I was just really annoyed at it. And, so, yeah, pretty much I was just really disappointed in the movie. But if you want to see them go up against each other and just do it, probably just wait till, like, it comes out on DVD or something like that. Do something like that and just buy it if it's cheaper. But yeah, anyway, that was sort of my sort of take on that. But yeah, I think that'll be about it for this sort of thing, this little mini cast that I was doing. So yeah, I guess it's time to wrap up. Okay, so if you enjoyed this sort of thing, this little mini cast that I've done with all these sort of different things that I've talked about, leave it in the comments or leave a like. That's, greatly appreciated and that sort of stuff. I'd, really appreciate that sort of stuff because it shows me that you actually want to see this sort of stuff. If you want to see more of this FTL, definitely leave that down in the comments. Go tell me, like, oh yeah, this seems really cool. Go play this game. Frankly, like I said, I probably will anyway. But yeah, so if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed FTL, subscribe. You can also just check out my channel, check out the other videos that I've done, that sort of stuff. But yeah, and leave a like if you really liked this sort of thing. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me if you agree with some of the things that I mentioned in here. If you're excited for Overwatch, excited for Tom Clancy's um, Wildlands, excited for Horizon Zero Dawn, if you've got the same problems with The Division, if you felt the same way about Batman v Superman, or if you felt the opposite stance on some of these things, if you've got some games that are coming out there or that have come out that you're like, hey, I think you might really enjoy this sort of stuff, then definitely definitely mention those to me. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this sort of thing. Also, tell me if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, because this is sort of like a little trial run of this sort of thing, and I'll just see how it goes. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this sort of thing. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.